Welcome to Eat the Bible, the world's fastest chapter-by-chapter Bible study, powered by Revelation 10:10.
Okay, let's get started. Very few people have read the Bible, even though it's the most influential book the world has ever seen. No, it's not an easy read, so I'm going to summarize every chapter quickly, sparing you from reading 1,000 pages. Now, I'm going to be honest. Some chapters are boring. Those chapters will have a sleeping cat down in the corner like this. Speaking of boring, let's get a definition out of the way. Who is God? He's good. He's the creator of all things. He's outside the time zone we find ourselves in, and he is perfect, holy. That means sin cannot be in his presence. So, how do we imperfect, sinful humans connect with God? That's the great mystery the Bible solves. There are 4 threads that weave their way through the Bible. The first thread, and I know this sounds strange to modern ears, God requires a blood sacrifice if we ever hope to interact with him. Put another way, to gain access to God's house, the ID card we show at the door has to be blood-stained. Chapters featuring this principle will be highlighted with a graphic like this. Another thread, Satan, the devil, is real and he is evil. His goal is to destroy us. To do that, he goes after our software, our DNA. In fact, Satan is the best hacker on this planet, and hacking our DNA is Satan's obsession. Chapters where this dynamic is active will feature a graphic like this. Another thread, everything runs according to a script. Because God lives outside our dimension of time, it's as if he climbs inside a time machine and scans your entire life, taking note of all the free will decisions you make between your birth and your death. God then goes back to the beginning of time and he types up his elaborate notes in what's called your book of life. But since I'm a filmmaker, I call it your script. Chapters where the script influence is obvious will show the key verse being typed out on, let's call it, God's laptop. The final thread is really a fundamental question that's posed on every page. What about myself? What do I mean by self? You and I, let's face it, we are selfish and self-centered. It's all about me, right? And our self-centered nature screws up everything we touch, including any relationship we might have with God or with those around us. But the Bible has an amazing solution. We are given the supernatural power to die to ourself on a daily basis. Chapters where self is on display will have this graphic. Okay, to summarize, 4 threads, 4 S's, alphabetical order: sacrifice, Satan, script, self. Now, my Bible studies take Satan seriously. I found 12 common situations the people in the Bible encounter. When this happens, Satan is present. Poor communication, anger, ignorance, porn, drugs, lack of faith, fear, deceit, envy, pride, idolatry, sorcery. Now, all of us make bad decisions from time to time. We get angry, we get fearful, envious, and it's important to realize, just like the people in the Bible we're going to encounter, we are setting ourselves up for satanic attacks. So the question is, how quickly do we recognize it, and what can we do about it? This will teach us. You see, God and Satan are both fighting for your mind. God's army consists of 3 big guns: God as commander, His Son Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. Working under them is a myriad of military drones called angels. On the other hand, here's just a partial list of Satan's army. Why so many strange-looking animal-like creatures? Because they strike fear in us. And where fear is, Satan will be. You can see that Satan's army is vast. But I hope and pray you will choose God's side.